once again to Let's Talk Marriage. All right. Welcome to Let's Talk Marriage. This is Pastor Larry coming to you this Wednesday afternoon with Let's Talk Marriage. All right. We're going to get right on into our program on today. I hope everyone is doing well. If you woke up this morning, guess what? You are doing well. All right, we're going to get right into our program. Our program today, we're going to be talking about or asking the question, how well do you know your spouse? This question can go for those of you that are engaged or seeing someone right now and anticipating on being engaged in the near future. This question, you should be able to answer this question. How well do you know your spouse? First of all, we're going to start with some of the simple things. How well do you know your spouse? Do you know them? Do you know their family? Have you met their family? And what was his or her family's reaction when you met them? How did they get along with their parents? Does he seem like persons that is close to his mom or his father? How well, if they have children, how well do they get along with their children, or how small are their children? And one of the other things that you would want to know is how do they handle stress? Do they fly off the handle? Do they get really upset under stress or under any kind of pressure? Do they show it? Do they act out? Are they argumentative? You need to know that as well, or you should know if your spouse is argumentative if you're already married. And usually, if you know your spouse is already is argumentative, there's certain things that you would not, or you have a hard time discussing with them because you know that they're argumentative. So those are the things that you should know. And if you're engaged or anticipating on getting married, those are the things that you really should know. You should know if they're argumentative, and if they're argumentative, you might want to have second thoughts about that, because if they're argumentative, that means that any kind of discussion that might come up, it might be something where they fly off the handle and and start hitting walls and stuff like that. So you want to know things like that, how they handle their stress. Another thing you want to know is, are they faithful? If they part of something, are they faithful to it? For instance, if they're a member of a church or organization, are they faithful to that organization where they go all the time and not just blowing the place off or whatever. You want to know if they're faithful. One of the other things, one of the simple things you should know is what's their favorite food or their favorite dish. Those are things that you should know about the person. You should know what's their favorite color. Just simple things like that. Are they passionate person, or are they someone that don't like to hug? They're not a hugger. They are, when I say passion, what comes under that is, are they one of the people that constantly tell you how they feel about you? Are they always saying "I love you," or are they one of the people that handles arguments well or disagreements well, where they be the first to apologize or admit when they're wrong? You want to know if they're that type of person. If they're one type of person that never thinks they're wrong or always think they're right, that's something you need to discuss or talk about. Do they have a sense of humor? If they have a sense of humor, you can laugh with them. Or are they one of those people that's always serious, and whenever you want to have laughter or a joyous occasion, they're not really into that. They're more on a serious type. Those are the things that you want to know. And one of the big ones that we just talked about earlier is how they handle stress, because under stress comes a lot of other things like disagreements, disappointments in life, because some people can't really handle disappointments in their life. One of the other good things or good questions you should be, or things you should be knowing about your spouse is if they have any kind of habits, like whether it be bad habits or good habits. Yeah, the good habits are a good practice. But if they have bad habits, what type of bad habits are they? Are they serious bad habits, or are they just bad habits like a non-serious bad habit would be when they come in the house, they never hang their coat up. That's nothing serious. That's something that can be corrected. If they have a habit like that, or leaving their shoes in the wrong place, or something like that, or if they have a habit of or getting high all the time, or drinking a lot. Those are things you want to know before you get married. And after you're married, you should know that about your spouse. If he one of those people that constantly like confrontation, you should know that about your spouse. There's so many things that you should know about your spouse, especially if you've been married a while, and some things you should know before you get married. But if you've been married a while, you should know them. And because sometimes you should know, sometimes when people been married a long time, you can swear that they when they phone ring, oh, that's my wife, I know it. Things like that. You should be in sync with each other, and you should be able to uh, work together good. And when you know someone, you work together with them. Are they a friendly person? You should want to know if they're a friendly person. Were they your friend at one time, or are you still best friends? And when you're best friends with your spouse, you can talk about different things, and discuss different things. There's always going to be subjects that kind of you have to think about before you discuss them, and you have to think about, and it's all in the timing. Some subjects you have to wait for the right time to discuss them, because if you discuss them at the wrong time, it could lead to disagreements, and that's what you don't want to do in your marriage. You can have disagreements, but not blown out arguments and things like that, because everyone is going to disagree at one point or another. Those are things that you should be thinking about or knowing about your spouse. And our question on today is, how well do you know your spouse? Or how well do you know your fiance, or the person you anticipating on getting married? How well do you know them? Get to know them. Find out how they act, how they react in their own element, meaning around their relatives. Are they more relaxed around their relatives? Are they more intense around their relatives? Do they have an attitude, or do they seem to be disturbed when they're around their relatives, or around their mother or father? Are they disturbed, or even when they come around your relatives, do they seem disturbed? Do they seem like they don't want to be there? Those are things you should know about a person. And when you know someone, you can get along with them a lot better. And that's why you should know who you are with, and you should have known them before you got married to them. And those are the things, if you're engaged, you should be asking those questions. Some of the simple questions you should already know the answer to. But make sure the more uh, into it questions, make sure you know those answers to those questions as well. You're not going to always know everything about a person. And you should not want to know everything about a person, especially if it's something that that was in their past. I mean, if they want to talk about it, that's fine. But if there's something negative from their past, and they've gotten past it, they've healed from it, and they've moved on, there's no reason to continue bringing it up. And that's how a lot of people get into discussions, or heated discussions over something that happened years ago. Those things, if you want to discuss them with your spouse, or with your fiance, do so. But make sure it's the right time that you do that, because if you discuss something from someone past at the wrong time, it could cause a whole nother line of disagreements, line of questioning, and a line of things that are being brought up that should have been left in the past. And this is Pastor Larry. We're going to be signing off. And before we sign off, we're going to take the opportunity to invite you out to our services at New Zion Christian Center. We're located at 15014 Des Plaines Street in Plainfield, Illinois. Our service begins Sunday morning at 11 a.m. And we hope to see you there. And may God bless you until we meet again with Let's Talk Marriage. How well do you know your spouse? All right, all right.